Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever, whenever that you may be tuning in. This is Yonks, and this is our iLocal FYI Working Group number 10. And this is now day 73 of our 180-day live stream challenge here on AIagents.box. I still don't even think that I'm streaming to the iLocal FYI channel yet, but that's no worries. Still in pre-launch conversation, and joined with me is I am Lotus, and looking at our templated agenda. This is the Google Docs. Let me throw in a link to the tab here, copy link, and I'll throw this in the live stream for everybody. Link to today's agenda in Google Docs sub tab. And there's that for you all. So anyway, this is our templated. This is a pretty tab heavy Google Doc, and you can see here we're in the pre-launch section, and this is 2025 Q1. Right now, the cadence that we're having these pre-launch conversations is about once a week. And taking a look at the goals tab, this is the primary reason that we're having these conversations: to open source templates and playbooks that foster local cooperative ownership. And right now, as somebody that's based in the US, primarily looking to do that here in the US, but this is definitely something looking at our mission. We're positioning iLocal FYI as a global movement for fostering local community and cooperative ownership using on-chain technology. And we're planning to create AI agents to make it easier to run these sorts of dynamics. And these sorts of dynamics is that we're primarily talking about investment clubs and venture studios. And this is where we're really planning to build in public with our ecosystem here. And we're going to basically share with you the journey that we're doing. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about is an ongoing collaboration effort with Pizza DAO. And this is We Own Pizza Club. And we'll come back to that here in a minute. The other thing, too, is our venture studios. This is where we're looking to here in Q2 of 2025 launch 5 venture studios. These will categorically be qualifying private equity funds under 3C1 in the US. Here is the securities exemption that we're planning to use to raise capital to deploy in our ecosystem in these various verticals: land, hacker house, AI agents, energy, and food. So, anyway, going back to today's agenda. So, I am Lotus, and I had a conversation earlier today about Gitcoin Grant Round 23. And the underlying question is, should we participate? So, what are your thoughts on that? I am Lotus. Should we participate in Gitcoin Grants Round 23?
Well, I'm gonna take a deeper dive on that. And I don't know, is there a deadline on it to
Yes,
decide?
apply by March 31st.
Okay. And I will let you know as soon as I can. And since you mentioned the team that you think would get into the program, maybe we can group together before we decide after I take a deep dive on it. Which program are we going to enter? The iLocal?
So we have, if I had to choose between, and this is obviously an iLocal FYI conversation here, but our sister organization with iLocal is AI Agents. Box, the on-chain community for AI, and that's where we're really looking to proliferate somebody's ownership of their own AI agency through strategic verticals that we're building out. So, And the other one is my IRA. Those are, the three that we're having the most conversations. My IRA, I don't know if it would necessarily be a public good, and I'm not sure if all of these are necessarily public goods. I haven't gotten into the weeds on. I think most of it is open source projects, and we're definitely looking to open source our projects regardless of which one that it is. So, yeah.
Okay, I will do my deep dive and then let you know which one of those projects more than likely will get a nod from them. Because when I look at the first six that were approved, uh, I think they're looking more on impact, whether it's local, more likely local. They want it more local, uh, and if we've been doing it for a while, I think those are one of the criterias. Like they're looking for things that have already worked, and they're just adding value to it. But that's why I said I'm gonna take a deeper dive. I briefly looked at those that won, and that's what I gathered from the essence of their projects.
Yeah, and this is where, we need to make a decision. It's not something that I want to spend a lot of time around, but like just looking here at dApps and apps, this initiative funds innovative dApps and apps in two areas: user-friendly applications enhancing Web3 accessibility and usability, and projects advancing financial inclusion, education, and social impact. And when you think about the whole ethos of iLOCAL.fyi, in my opinion, is to definitely advance financial inclusion, education, and social impact. Really view the investment club as a model to help people escape from the poverty trap. And this is where I'm really looking forward to making it easier through like account abstraction to use on-chain technology, but for the benefit of fostering cooperative ownership of P token assets. So this is one, that I think that we could easily look at doing, because the goal with iLocal FYI is to really like make this, like what we're building, the ecosystem that we're building, really make it like a investment club in a box, or whatever sort of club in a box. I'm most interested, for a lot of obvious reasons, around investment clubs, but investment clubs can be other sorts of situations, because when you think about just organizing for some sort of dynamic, clubs are very prevalent within society today, and really making it easier for those sorts of dynamics to flourish is kind of the goal with iLocal FYI. And then when we get organizational capital through like our tokenomics models, that'll only amplify our ability to. And at that point, if that occurs, we likely won't need to be going through efforts of Gitcoin grant rounds and other dynamics. But there's different buckets. Here's the main Gitcoin rounds. Then there's also the community rounds down below. And I'm not sure if any of the community rounds necessarily make sense. Uh, because I don't think, just looking at these six, I don't think that those are aligned. But don't know if any of the community rounds quite honestly are. And I'm not sure if token engineering would necessarily um, be applicable. It could be. And I'm not sure which one, uh, potentially P token network, but right now, and that's something to potentially consider, because we could go through the process of rebranding Retoken DAO into a P token network because I think that there's definitely token engineering and the we're absolutely planning to build on the superchain base as a part of the superchain. So that would be another opportunity. P token network over here, token engineering, the superchain retro round. And this is retro funding. This is also an important consideration. So I don't know what their criteria will be here. Um,
I think those community rounds are funnels that uh, provide grants for projects that uh, sustain the mission and the vision that they have. So, because I think those were the ones that were approved to provide uh, grants to other smaller projects, I think. So that's why I said I'm gonna take a deeper dive. Uh, Earlier, when I looked into it briefly, I was more concerned if my Gitcoin GitHub account can be used. That's why I took the time to create a new GitHub account so I can go in my Gitcoin account.
Yeah, and the region coordination is potentially another one that we could look at for our region village project in North Denver area. So we'll see. This has still got details. I'll take a look and see. I'm pretty sure that I'm in the region coordination network, but I'm going to put a link under here in this. And let me actually just do this. Let me create a new subtab here for rename this GG23. Uh, we'll put March, April 2025. So the application deadline appears as March the 31st. So this is something that we would need to get a decision made. And as I mentioned, just looking at the calendar here, let me actually just open up the 3win.eth calendar. So here's the 3win.eth calendar and looking here. So we will have two additional pre-launch conversations this week. Um, and it'll probably be over here. I've got to take a look. Vegas is still a potential question mark. But I'll commit to doing at least one pre-launch conversation here for iLocal next week, and then we can plan on doing one on the 31st, and then I'll see what the submission deadline is on the 31st, and we should have some more details. So we'll have a couple more opportunities to have conversations that we can itemize around Gitcoin Grant Round 23 here. So I'm going to put a link to this, and I'm going to put ecosystem projects worth potentially submitting. We'll put iLOCAL.fyi, AI agents, Vox, and then P token network. And none of these that we have like refined narratives around, but I don't think that we would have to have a lot. The real opportunity, and this is where the grind is getting on platforms, Twitter Spaces, and this is something that want to choose wisely. But if there's some good opportunities to amplify all of this, this is something that I think would be worthwhile. Because sometimes it's not necessarily just about the dollars that you receive through the grant mechanism. I think the opportunity is to get additional exposure that could potentially translate into members joining or contributors or investors. And we're creating all of those opportunities. All right. So anyway, going back to our agenda, and let me put a little copy link here. Created subtab in this Google Docs. There's the link to that. Okay, so tomorrow, and let me go to iLOCAL.fyi, and this will redirect to our link tree here. And on our events page, we have today's conversation. This is the one that we're in right now. And I'm going to throw this on. Subscribe to our Luma calendar to stay informed of future events. And there's a link to our Luma calendar. And the one that I'm going to open up here in the other window is for the We Own Pizza Club pre-launch conversation. So let me add a link here. So RSVP to tomorrow's conversation. And this is where looking to, and the Google Doc is on this tab. So this is what wanting to work on here now. RSVP to So going to this tab, this is a Google Doc here for We Own Pizza Club, and that's at this URL right here. We own at Pizza Club. I'm fairly certain that this opens up in the tab there. It does open up the Google Docs. So Google Docs for Pizza Club. We Own Pizza Club. Okay, so the agenda here. So let's see. Um, Things that want to discuss tomorrow. So let's expectations to let's talk about the uh briefly discuss the American Dream campaign and bundling in first year of club. With the club membership, looking at this for to be $47, I'm not sure if it will need to be that high. This is something that we can decide because when you think about $47, that's almost not quite $4 a month. And when you think about somebody investing $100, 4% is not an excessive amount. I would potentially like it to be less, but this is where, it depends on what we're going to be including. Like one of the things that we have committed to include, and let me actually see if I have this real quick. Um, let me actually just put this as an agenda point. Um, One of the planned benefits at some point in the future equals uh, my IRA Club Edition. So this is where we're for, and again, this is from my myopic view of the US. IRA, individual retirement arrangement, is a tax advantaged situation. And I'm not sure. Let's actually take a look here real quick. how much can you contribute to your IRA in 2025? So let's see. 7,000 for those under age 50, 8,000 for those age 50 or older. So the goal is to have here the club be a monthly contribution dynamic, and we will likely actually not even have it be a monthly contribution. We're planning to use Superfluid Finance, now superfluid.org, and experience the future of money, earn every second. So, Superfluid is the protocol for money streaming. So, join over 354,000 users earning, investing, and trading by the second on chain. Well, we're wanting the investment club to be a automatic sort of situation, whether it's $100 a month or what. Let me actually see what this is here. 7,000 divided by 12 is so $100 a month. In order for you to max out your contribution, you would need to be investing $583.33 a month. So that's a very different number than 500. We're planning the minimum club contribution starting out here with We on Pizza Club to be $100. So and again, planning to use Superfluid for doing that. And the goal with what we're wanting to do with iLOCAL.fyi is to make this process as easy as possible. But anyway, one of the planned benefits at some point in the future is my IRA Club Edition, and I was just gonna check here. I'm gonna make this as an action item for myself. Uh, create Notion project page for my IRA Club Edition. And this will be like a sub project of my IRA there. So that's an action item for myself. So briefly discuss the American Dream campaign and bundling in. And let me see here. If I have the tokenomics wheel up here, I do. Okay, great. Let me actually. So this is the We Own Network bundle that we're planning to offer. And as you can see, I already have a line item in here for We Own Pizza Club. And kind of my thoughts are right now is to continue offering this We Own Network bundle with We Own Pizza Club until we've onboarded maybe 80 members that are actively contributing into We Own Pizza Club. And part of if you're wondering why 80, the limit is 100. And the thoughts is that we can likely easily fork or create a new investment club because like most of where we're going to be targeting this We Own Network bundle is here in Colorado, where we're looking to create our strategy around. And one of the line items that I'm going to add to this is Hacker House Academy. And I got to take a look and see what I want this to look like as far as slicing this proverbial pie, if you will. But anyway, this is our plan for onboarding people into our ecosystem, but then also providing some additional benefits. So, to briefly discuss and bundling air, refer to, and this is just so that you know, this I'm calling this the tokenomics wheel. I made a post on our linked or our Telegram, and let me see. I've been starting to gear people towards, and this will actually be a good segue into that app.common ground. So we own this is our Pizza Club channel here. So I'm going to share a link on here. Call out to anybody watching the live stream. Join our community on Common Ground. And part of the reason that we're using Common Ground is that it's far less noisy. So much less signal to noise ratio. I also think that the UX UI it's a fabulous mobile experience. Would you agree with that? I am Lotus. You've used this on your iPhone. How is the mobile experience from your perspective for Common Ground?
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I every time I look at it, and this is one of the reasons Common Ground that I'm increasingly wanting us to build our infrastructure using progressive web apps. So this is done using a progressive web app. So kudos to the Common Ground team for that. So here's our Pizza Club. We also have a couple other channels. We talked about our venture studios here with our iLOCAL.fyi, and it'll be interesting to see what because one of the things that we've got, and I'm not going to unpack what some of the benefits for the we own dynamic, but anyway, refer to coming back to the agenda for tomorrow, refer to tokenomics wheel. Refer to the tokenomics wheel. We own network bundle. So create the Notion page, expectations around what it will look like to participate in an investment club, best practices, find, implement, refine. So on that note, and let me see here. So I'm actually gonna do a let's actually roll up our sleeves and work on. Well, I'm looking at the time here. This is something that I'll actually take offline. I was going to work on because in Wyoming, we need a governing principles template for a Wyoming unincorporated nonprofit association. So here's a template right here. I mean, and this is something that I can copy in. Template governing principles for a Wyoming unincorporated nonprofit association. I'm not going to unpack why choosing Wyoming or the unincorporated. This is something that I'll work on getting some things in there surrounding, but this is this is actually probably a decent document that we can or template that we can use for our own governing principles. So, and that's again the document that will basically create and establish our investment club. And so, anyway, do you have any? I know that we've talked many, many, many times in the past, I am Lotus, around an investment club, and I'm really excited with account abstraction. This is the first time that we're talking about doing an investment club. Well, we were talking about our We Own Club of Colorado. This is, and we actually still have collab dot, or at, I think it's at co dot. Yeah. So we own Club of Colorado. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. What are your thoughts here on our conversation for tomorrow?
Now just do what we need to do to get move the needle forward. Do you know if we have to file a BOIR for any corporations that we
No,
have
because
already?
this isn't a corporation, and there's not going to be any beneficial owners.
What is a
So
beneficial? What does that mean? What is a BOIR? Because I
it's one of the things, and this goes back to the Corporate Transparency Act, which has been, and from what I understand, is that the Corporate Transparency Act is now only looking to collect information from foreign entities, not if you're a U.S. citizen with the U.S. entity. So it's a beneficial. It's basically if you own more than 25% of a company, and this is one of the things that you think about moving money around for potentially illicit purposes or money laundering or different sorts of things like that's why there's a lot of KYC regulations, AML, anti-money laundering.
Mm-hmm.
So that's FinCEN is the I can't remember what financial crimes investigation network. Let me see FinCEN Gov. um let's see. Uh, Updated beneficial ownership information reporting. And well, it says here alert beneficial ownership reporting requirements are back in effect with the new deadline of March 21st, 2025 for most companies. FinCEN will assess options for further modifying deadlines. For more info, please see notice. So that's at fincin.gov, Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. So if you're curious about that, check fincin.gov as far as the BOI beneficial ownership information.
But it only applies for foreign owners of U.S.
Go check FinCEN and FinCEN.gov and take a look. So yeah.
Okay. All right. I guess good night, everyone, or happy
Yep, have a
time.
good night. We'll be back tomorrow for our We Own Pizza Club conversation.